So welcome back to the session on SPSS. When we are trying to solve problems on the statistical package, one of the first important and the most challenging thing is to know how to interpret your results. Without a correct interpretation, there is no use of solving the problems on the SPSS. And to do that, you have to understand first and foremost the concept of p-value that will give you the level of significance. So what does that mean? We will look at the p-values and see whether the p-value is less than 0.05. If it is less than 0.05, then we say that there is significance. The results are significant. If it is less than 0.01, very good. That means it's highly significant. But if it is more than 0.05, then for the problem that we are trying to do does not have a significance. When you look at a lot of journal articles, you will find that against the p-value, these notations are given, either a 1 star or 2 stars. A single star means that the p-value for this case is less than 0.05, and double star means that the p-value is less than 0.01. So this is one thing that you have to really understand when you are trying to solve the problems. For this session, we will be concentrating on one test which is very important non-parametric test, that is the chi-square test of independence. In the class, when we discuss chi-square, we would have discussed that the chi-square statistics is done for two things, either to test the goodness of fit or as a test of independence or a test of association. I want you to remember very clearly that the words that we use in the hypothesis writing for the chi-square is there is an independence between these two variables, or these two variables are independent, or we say that these two variables are associated, or there is an association between variable x and variable y. When we were discussing in the class, I would have highlighted that the statistical tests that we do and we choose to do are dependent on the scales that were used for measuring the scales. Now coming back to the chi-square test, if you see here, this is a non-parametric test. How many variables should be there if you want to test the independence? There should be two variables, and both the variables should have been measured using a nominal scale only. Then only we can do a chi-square test for independence. Now let us take an example and try to solve it using the SPSS to get a better understanding of what we are talking here. For this, I would like to now find out from this data whether my gender is associated with the nature of job that I am doing. Does gender have any association with the nature of job that the person is doing? So this is the question for which I want to find an answer. Because both these are nominal scales. Gender is a nominal scale here in this case, and also the nature of job is a nominal scale. I hope you remember the questionnaire that we have used to capture the data. The questionnaire here, gender is a nominal scale, and so is your nature of job. That is also full-time, part-time is a nominal scale. That is why when we come here, what we do is we go to analyze, and in the descriptive statistics, there is an option called as cross tabs. You go there, and in the row, you select gender, and the other variable, which is the nature of job, you select in the column. And then you go to statistics, and then there is an option called as chi-square. You tick that, you continue here, and if you want, again option, if I want the observed variables will be anyway displayed. Will you want the expected variables to be displayed? Do you want the row percentages or the column percentages to be displayed? Remember, the row percentage will give you a different data when compared to the column. So as a researcher, you need to know what is it that you are interested in finding. That will determine. For instance, I am clicking the row percentage and the total percentage here, and I say continue. Then I come here and I say okay. Then you see the results are here for me to see. That is total number of sample size is 400. This is the expected count, the observed count, expected count, and the percentage within the gender. I asked for the row percentage, and therefore the row percentage and the total percentage is given here. And the most important thing, where is the p-value that you will look for? This is called as the Pearson's chi-square value, and this is the value which is of interest to us. We look at this value and compare and see whether it is within the level of significance or not. What is the level of significance that I said was the benchmark for our comparison? Yes, it is 0.05. So is this value less than 0.05? The answer is no. So is there a significance? No. There is no significant association between gender and nature of job. That would be our conclusion. So I guess you would have learned how to do the chi-square test. The most important thing is that you should remember that both the variables that you are trying to find association for should have been a nominal scale only. Then only we can do a chi-square test. And once again, we go to analyze, we go to descriptive statistics and the cross tabulation, and that is where we will pick up our row and column variables, and in the statistics option we will go to chi-square and complete this test. So I hope you would have learned how to use the chi-square test. In the next video session, we will look at yet another test on SPSS. Thank you.